Alright, give me just a second. I'm just trying to hook up my phone charger. What up? Ooh, we changed scenery. What up, Buck? Yeah. Swirly John here? Yeah. My bad. I looked up and realized I was running late. So, what up, Jeremiah? Doing alright? How are you, brother? Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna actually I'll chit chat with you guys for a little bit first, and then we'll do some gear talk for a midweek live. Doing good, awesome. That's awesome, Buck. Yeah, Jeremiah. Fred, what up? How you been, Fred? So, I'm gonna show you like my must-haves. I think if I add it up right, like I've done tree work my whole life, but like actually climbing, it's been 28 years. So in that 28 years, I've tried a lot of stuff, and I've dialed everything in as much as I can to get to the point I'm at now, and I feel like I'm pretty dialed in when it comes to my tools. So that's what we'll discuss today. I'm gonna try to set this charger. I just don't know if it's gonna stay. Ground pounder, what's up? Yeah, I know. You can call me Dad. Is the audio is okay? It's good now. Right on. I got that damn phone case. Don't touch it. Yeah, right on. So, what do we do first? I say we go saddle. I checked before we started this here because I wanted to see how long have I had this. So what that is the Weaver Stratus, and I think I was probably one of the first to have it. These were like one of the things I worried about, is I was used to bigger D-rings, and I thought that these would be kind of floppy and end up moving over time. They have not. So I really like the circle ring D-rings on the side. They've gave me no issues. I've really got the straps and everything dialed in for the leg pads, and I noticed that I really like my leg pads at a strange angle. Almost like if they're on the back of me, out like this. Instead of like this on each leg, they're like cocked out to the side. I don't know why that feels so much more comfortable, but so much more comfortable. What up, John? Yeah, my bad. What up, Chris? Yeah, so, yeah, let me show you this thing. I've got it pretty dialed in now, and, we'll discuss. So, I'm gonna keep up with comments too this time. No, I can't do that. They're top secret. I've taken down so many dead, decrepit trees that I felt like it was a necessity to have one tattooed on my rib cage. So that's probably my favorite one, is the tree that's like up my ribs down to my hip. Yeah, I'm outside. What up, Husk? Troyer, what's up? Hoonigan, how we doing? 43 years doing tree work, seen a lot. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I guess I could. Well, I can't. I haven't done tree work since I was born, but like, kind of always helping my dad as a little kid. Then as a teenager, I was totally locked in working, and then around 15, I started to really climb. So yeah, let me show you this. So this is the Weaver Stratus. My suspenders are 4-strapped, and they have this little chest clip too. So these suspenders, I don't even know if they have a brand thing somewhere on them. I don't know where, but they were like, I bought them at Lowe's. That's where I ended up getting them from. Super comfortable. I like the back hanging spot if you needed anything. I've never thought about it, but I could actually use that over one shoulder for tending slack. I'm gonna mess with that. Put an attachment to where I can have it hanging over and clip in, or throw it back out of the way. But I like the fact that they have the clip together part. I prefer the padding to be up here as opposed to on the back too. I had the 3s, with the single strap in the back, and that can be a bit uncomfortable at times. You'll end up with these buckles rubbing on your like spine in weird, in positions, because it's a single strap coming down that back. So I prefer these 4-strapped ones. I thought I really liked the 3. I feel like the 3 have, the way they hold is better, but the 4 are more comfortable. So I don't know if you've ever tried 3s or 4s. So yeah, pretty much, John. Thinking about those. We're setting up blind high up in the trees. Yeah, these were $15, Pusk. These were $15, and I think I have going on 3 years on this saddle now. What I like about it is all the crazy amount of attachment points that are on the back. You can really put the stuff in the position that you want. These little clips were perfect. I always like to keep one of these S-beaners. It just comes in handy, and a lot of times when I'm storing my chainsaw lanyard out of the way, I will take it when I don't have a saw and hook it there. Keeps it from coming off. I went and just took and made a chainsaw clip. So if you look there, I kind of wallered this out here so that it doesn't like jump off, but it's super easy to get onto. I busted the gate off, and basically it was this clip but without the swivel. So I didn't want to swivel, I want it to be fixed, and what's nice is it can be taken off and changed if need. But yeah, I really like that setup. So with this particular saddle, there are even attachment points on the leg, on the pads down here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 3 on each leg too. So I want to show my chainsaw lanyard. I prefer to clip to my far back, not totally into the middle, but towards my right side, and then in the exactly in the middle, I keep a simple carabiner that doesn't have any locking, so that I can reach back there and attach things, clip them in, and like I always keep like my gree stuff like that there. So let's see, hook for my saw. Awesome, John. Yeah, it's one thing I'm disappointed with the with Weaver about is that it doesn't have a chainsaw, like a regular chainsaw attachment. It has none. So not really, I'm kind of bummed about that. They should have put something, even if it's the old traditional ones with that little flat gate. It should have been something. Remember back in the day, they had a giant hook on the side of the yeah, and I used to take the old ones that was the clip kind, that's kind of like an S-beaner, to where you'd have to push it out of the way with your thumb to get it out. I would just take those, I would break the, I would take those and I would break the gate off and then just use it like that with a chainsaw lanyard. But drink every time he says greedy. Sure shops. Dude, I'm only 62, come on. Reminds me of the Edge saddle. Yeah, it's super light, but what's awesome, like, that's like a composite stuff for the back and everything. This like honeycomb, it stayed completely rigid, so it's not floppy or anything. And I'm going to show you like putting it on and everything. It's really nice. It also has these little hanging attachments, and you have your old like loops at the bottom too of the saddle. So you have like, there's just so many attachment points. It's insane. Also with all my straps, and even with the buckle or the leg straps, I actually sewed everything to the size that I wanted, and then hid all the sewing in there, which is idea for me. If you look over here, you'll see where I doubled it and then sewed everything together so that it's set for me. I wasn't the biggest fan of the single bridge. I went from using the Weaver Cougar, what up Zachary, to nobody likes it floppy. That's what I'm talking about. So I was using the Cougar, and it had that big thick flat bridge, and man, I was such a fan of that thing. It's, yeah, I would still use it to this day if I had one. So my wife got me into rock climbing and has one, but won't let me steal it. 850 must be working. The plane, send him a text. Yeah, I've been rushing. My daughter was here. Actually, I talked to him and told him, he asked me to do a live. I think he'll probably get on here sometime. He asked me to do this live, so actually I'm doing this for 850. So, yeah, hopefully he makes it. So the only other thing I didn't show you, oh, over here, I do keep a pencil carry tool. I love this thing, and it's basically, for the most part, used for if I have a rope that I need to carry around with me, a quick attachment to hold it, or it's for my speedline straps, and I'll show you as we set up here. I bought a Cougar on your recommendation, love it. It's a Cadillac, Lorca, it's a Cadillac, and if you're looking for comfort, it's where it's at. It's such a comfortable, nice saddle, and I think it's a perfect transition from using like a seat saddle. It's a nice middle ground, and some of these newer, you know, bridge saddles and stuff like that with the leg straps, it's a wild transition to where some guys don't want to make it. So the 090 was weird. You remember the Stihl double? Yeah, the 009. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I know, but I don't think it would set up correctly onto this. It's not, the bear paw's not like that saddle. Look. So, you have one of these, the paw, as opposed to the ring, the big silver rings that was on the Cougar. So yeah, I didn't say anything, but I put an additional bridge with just some cherry bomb, and then put in a DMM ring, because a lot of devices, when you clip them on, they'll be oriented the wrong direction, like off to the side, and then with the addition of this ring, it places everything correct the way that personally I want it. So I mean, that's awesome, Jeremiah. I see reflex AR. I don't know, dude. I think maybe the reflex could be cool. It's just all the guys that are using it are zesty, so it's like making me not want to do it. I see some guys that make it look cool, and I see Bartlett and weird shit. I don't know. Actually, ask Troyer. I think he has one. He would be, he would have some knowledge about it. So, what up, Alley-Cat? Yes, 009. Yeah. Reflex is good. Cool. Definitely not using reflex. Too many people doing it. Yeah. I'm not a fan. It may be amazing, but like, man, I hate I don't want to be part of any fad, any weird fad that's out there. And to be fair, some of you guys may have chose it before it became the fad that it is, but like, that's just my opinion. So Blackbird looked cool, you know. I thought it would have potential. Seemed to wear out really quick for Jacob though, so I need neither, but one. Yeah, I want both. Like, I would use them, but I'm not spending that for that to do that. It's just not enough, personally. Okay, so I showed you everything except for I have this attachment here for my hand saw, and this clip usually gets used for my first aid pouch, which contains nicotine, and it keeps me from hurting someone else. That's why it goes in the first aid pack. And then the other thing I have is I have this hard case here. There's something up with my phone that way that when I play music or I play a video or something, I used to be able to shut the screen off and you could hear it, and I could listen to music. It would keep going, but it shuts off now. after a while. And I'm just like, I don't understand why, so I have to like leave it going. So I got that hard case, that's what my phone goes into. So I'm gonna put you guys back. We're gonna set this thing up, and then I'm just gonna show you what I take like every time. It's every climb, it's always this. Plus I'm gonna show you a couple tricks, a spike ascender, how I set up my knee ascender, my slack tending, yada yada yada. So let's move you guys and set you up. Oh yeah, my lanyard. I go chainsaw right side, lanyard left side. So I'm right-handed, that's the reason. Chainsaw on the right side, lanyard on the left, and I use the Buckingham buck rope grab that's got the offset eye. I really like it. It works really good. And this is, I think, like the Rock Exotica lanyard, but it's not technically Rock Exotica because I got it from Gap. They sent it to me, so I can't remember who makes this. Used to stream Fonz FM before they went off there. Okay. Here are my spikes. Before I set everything up, I'm just going to show you these. So these are my spikes. You see that it is a very, very, very small little gaff. Like, it's way above the foot. It's probably 1.5 inches. So it's not a tree gaff that would be hanging way down here and cocked off to the side. You see how close that is. It's got the nice kind of arc to it. I believe these are Bajlin aluminum pole gaffs. I still got the old leather straps that I need to replace. They're really getting worn out and crappy. You can see where I usually hook it up at because it's worn out. You can see how thick and kind of bulky, like it's not bulky, but like rounded off everything is. They're comfortable. They're crazy comfortable. Plus they're aluminum, so they're super light. You can replace the gaff. So it's got an inside one, and I don't know about that outside one. Oh, they're both on the inside. So yeah, I would like to upgrade these to the Velcro straps. So also I use these. These are the Weaver ankle supports, and what it does is eliminates that gap in between your spike and your boot. So when you put your boot on, there's usually a little bit of a gap here where your ankle hit. Just puts a bunch of cushion there and eliminates that gap. It's the same concept as wearing a bigger boot, like a taller boot, makes the whole thing, like your spikes feel like one. If you wear like a little booty boot, what is that? Like a real low cut boot, and you put your spikes on, the boot itself and your spikes are not attached. You know, there's your foot's here, your boot goes to there. When you have a taller boot and the leather's up in here inside the strap, there's no comparison how comfortable it becomes. Everything becomes one. So a lot of climbers like tall boots. There's a reason for that, because you get a lot more comfort when you put the gaff and stuff on. So and then yeah, they're the Buckingham double big buck Velcro pads. They're probably 10 years old, maybe 9 years old. Here's something I want to talk about. This is a shit design. I don't know what Buckingham's thoughts were, but why they put Velcro on the outside is dumb. Because my lanyard comes down and attaches to this and opens it all the time. So I think this is a shit design. I don't know why they would put Velcro on the outside. and something like a speed line strap will touch it, or the rope, and it'll start to open it up. So I don't understand that. I don't know why they put that there. I'm sure there's probably a little technique or reason for it, but I'm not a fan of it. I think it was like pissing in the wind. Like, yeah, you got to relieve yourself, but you also had to, like, get pee in your face. So it's like, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's set up this saddle. I'll show you maybe the gear and stuff with it. Back here, I don't have a whole lot of room because motorcycles take up half of this backyard, or this back patio here, so we're gonna deal with what we got. Hopefully that's cool. It stays. Oh. Are we still there? I watched a little bit of it, Puss, before I was getting ready to do this live, but it was boring, so no, I just didn't get a chance to finish it yet. He's like, damn, I should have named it that. Be a YouTuber and be like, well, the titles are the hardest thing to come up with. Alright, let's see. So one thing I always do when I put my saddle away is I clip everything together. Like, I store it the way I wear it, because when I get it out, I want it to be in that form. I don't want it to be thrown into like a box or a bag or something and it gets all wadded up and it's all funky, and that's how I feel like you get a floppy, weird saddle. So I store it that way. So before I get going, I unclip, and the whole saddle has those ISC buckles. So this, and then just step into it. Make it landed. There you go. So title shaming. That's the way to do it, Puss. Take as much as you can. I love it. Alright. So, here we go. Now if let's say I'm getting ready to go do a removal. I'm going to run you through everything I would take. And this is almost for like just every climb in general. This is the stuff I'm always taking. So first would be, normally I'm only going to grab 3 of them, but I got like 6 speed line straps here. If I was doing a big removal, I would take them with me for quick redirects, or for, redirects for climbing or rigging. So 3 speed line straps, and what's nice, I got that carrot tool back here. I know where it's at. I just reach back and they're all on. So I'm good to go there. The other thing I would need, like I said, I would take my always got my phone holder and smokes. They clip all back here. In the back of my climb bag, there's always my handsaw, which clips on here. Then I get to like actual climbing devices and stuff. Spike ascender, knee ascender. I'm going to show you these in just a second, and I'll show you my slack tender. But here's something that I bring on every climb. Go to the other side of the bag over here, where all the climbing devices are. So, I would climb Rope Runner Pro 90% of the time. I really like this device. Big thank you to Greg Brown. So, I would climb with that. But every climb, I take this always. I take the Gree because it's too quick, too simple, and fast to set up to not take it. If I'm going to do spar work, if I'm starting to advance myself above my tie-in or a long ways away from my tie-in, I'll pull the tail of my rope up, put a carabiner on it, advance it up above me, clip this in, and then I'll climb above my tie-in point, slack out my original tie-in, and use this to do the work to advance to a long limb walk, or doing a separate top, or just you're just working a section that's just higher than your tie-in point. Instead of running a redirect that's like upward and then back down, I'll use this, and it's nice because I can just reach back here, clip it in. If I'm going to take that, I always would have to have another carabiner for the tail of the rope. So here's something I've started to do, and I always do now, and that is I have a carabiner on a carabiner, and I clip this in here. The reason for that is when I go to throw my rope around my lanyard, sometimes you get to where you're close, you know, but you're not quite there. I can give myself another 6 inches without having to reach over here and use my thumb to adjust that out. Sometimes you're in that precarious position where you don't want to have to, like, you only have maybe one hand available or whatever. So it's nice to have this. I have 3 connection points and different lengths. So I have the original D-ring, the first carabiner, and then the third carabiner. And so, I mean, do they always get used? Do I use it every? No. But in those times where I'm in that weird, crazy position, it's, I appreciate the fact that I have it every time. So, lay it over here. Okay, that's all of the stuff as far as this goes. So now let me show you. I'm going to take this off because I don't want this big, huge hunk of metal swinging between my legs the whole time. End up getting hit in the taint or something. Doesn't sound fun. So over here are a couple little tricks for you. So for my knee ascender, what's nice about these particular suspenders, I could use this for slack tending if I wanted to, but I don't, because it's like right where I have my broken rib that's messed up, and it's just, I don't really like, I think it's a little too high. So I have this, that's just, it's a little rope that's in some rubber tubing that's been taped up with an S-beaner on it. Depending on what device, I have 3 different clip-in points with this S-beaner. That is like the main one here, or this one, or the end. So I think for the Rope Runner Pro, for me, this just right there works. I can use that, and normally unless I'm going to be doing a lot of rope walking, I'm not wearing this. Because I don't really want to have this attached around my neck as I'm climbing. It just doesn't feel comfortable to me. So, but yeah, that's, if I'm rope walking at first, I'll probably rope walk my way up, and then I'll throw this down. I know I do majority removals, but I rope walk on all my removals too. I'm not a fan of gaffing my way up a tree. It's too quick and easy to rope walk up with spikes, and I've got that pretty dialed in. Plus it's easier on my body. I have like some problems with my knees and stuff, so to eliminate the chance of like hurting my knees and being so sore when I go home, I rope walk. So let me show you my rope walk setup. There's one little clip here, which is nice on these. There's not one on this side. Why, I don't really know why there's only one, but what's nice is I only really need one. Here is my knee ascender. It is the Haas Classic, and the way I hook it up is I just do the boot, and then this comes up and clips into here. And then the way you test your knee ascender out to make sure you got it dialed in is extend your leg all the way out and then lift your leg. And you think about how your stride would be. You don't want it bouncing all the way up here because you're going to get your leg lifted too high sometimes. So you get your action dialed in. You can see I doubled it here, and I had to adjust that, move it back and forth to get the action here to be right, to where I just get enough lift that it's not lifting the knee ascender too high if I slack out, but it's also giving me every bit of the step that I want. So that's how you know where to adjust your knee ascender if you're using your own bungee or making your own. So that's nice, simple, quick. It's totally out of the way, and yeah, it's just, I've gotten pretty quick with this. But here's the, I would say, the little hidden trick, and I saved it for this deep into the video because I kind of only want the true blues to know it. It is something I've said before, and I did a detailed video on the memberships about it, but this is my spike ascender. This is the best spike ascender in the world as far as I'm concerned. I know what you're saying. That's a hand ascender. No, it's not. I took this hand ascender and I've turned it into a knee ascender when I needed it. All you do, put a foot loop, put a bungee. It's a knee ascender. So what makes this a spike ascender? Well, let me show you. Because all it is a hand ascender with a bungee. Now check out this bungee. You notice that they're flat? The clips are flat, which makes it orientate itself just perfect onto the spike. Alright, so this top spot works perfect. All I did was, you could tie a double overhand knot, whatever, but this is going to have to be dialed in depending on what spikes that you use, what pad you use. So and a bungee and to my D's. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, because, well, I guess with mine, yeah, depending on where your ascender's actually at, as long, because you usually want the lift to go to the D-ring of the knee ascender, to somewhere around the D-ring area. So yeah, I could see that working. Let me show you. some people would take, when they're wearing a spike, and they would put a foot ascender over the top of it. The problem with doing something like that is that you end up with a foot ascender here. Let's say my fist is it, and you can't, like, it gets in the way of your gaff. Especially with me, I use pole gaffs, much smaller, much littler. A foot ascender being here, I can't see the gaff, and it gets in the way, usually sticks out further, so I didn't like that. Plus it's difficult to get on, kind of a headache. I wanted something I could quickly attach, take off, use, take off, use, just quick. So there is no quicker. This with one hand, and I'm not wearing them, so this is a little awkward, but clip, spike ascender. That easy. Now take it off. Done. There's no easier way. The way I dialed it in is I knew, because of this little clip being on my setup here, my knee ascender will be my left foot, so my right foot is going to be where I, put the spike ascender. So I dialed it in specifically for my right foot here. I'll show you how that hooks up one more time. So there's the gaff. It just hooks up under it, and it clips to the top of your pad. You can really get it positioned perfectly into place where it goes right up the pad. You can kind of put it in whatever position you want, but that's it. Open up. It is very sturdy. The only thing you need, because technically, as long as it attaches right here, all your weight is being pushed down into the bottom of this loop with your gaff. So you just need, when you lift your foot, for this to follow. So I mean, if it wasn't hooked here, if you lift your foot, it would stay on the rope. So the only thing the bungees are doing is making it so that it follows your spike as you lift. Because without it, it's not gonna lift up. So you're basically just placing your weight into the belly of that hand descender down here and locking it in. And so it would work with any tree gaffs, tree spikes, and it's just super, super, super simple. Right on, Jeremiah. Yeah, this is something I messed with for a while, and I kind of kept it a bit hush because I wanted to really dial it in. I looked at a few different guys and the way they had stuff set up. I really liked Giorgio Fiore. He had a spike ascender, in my opinion, that I really liked. He used the geckos, and so it has the hard composite pad here, and he attached one right here. And I believe it was probably like a chest ascender kind of thing, but it was really slick. And I think he had it on there with like maybe zip ties even or something. I can't remember. But the problem was, it still was in the view of this, and it like stuck out. And I liked that it was up here. I felt like that would be really comfortable. But the problem is, then the gaff is right there by the rope, and the rope's hanging down. You end up maybe gaffing the rope on the regular, so I was worried the distance from there to there is a little off. But I noticed how he mounted it, and then he had a little spring that hooked up onto the top of the pad. And I was like, that is interesting. Why has he got that? It was just like a single one. So it mounted to the side here, and the little spring came up and it hooked here. And I was like, why does he have that hook? And I started to think, oh, okay, because it's only attached towards the bottom. so that when he lifts his leg, it would stay. It's same concept as I was saying with this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I was looking through stuff. I was messing with gear one day, and I was looking at a hand descender, and I was like, huh. So I clipped it up on, I had a different hand descender at that time. And I clipped it up there, and it was like it hit. And I'm like, no way. That's so perfect. I messed with it for a little bit. This, getting it right to where it's strong enough that it's not floppy, it keeps it pressed against. It just took a little while to get this perfectly dialed in, but it is just girth hitched onto the circle there. So you just run the loop through. And what's nice is that you see how open the channel is. With a lot of these setups, you would have this would be in the way. So because it's this flat strap, I think it just orientates itself really, really nice for the use of it. So yeah, that's a MacGyver move. Yes, yeah, definitely a MacGyver move. What up, Eric? That's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, it's just one of them situations where I'm like, this is a tool that a lot of tree climbers have and maybe don't use. It just kind of sits in the back. And when it hit me and I can use a tool and reuse it in other, I'm like, it's perfect. The only thing I really had to do was the hand descender's plastic went down a little bit, so I had to take a little bit of it off right there so that it really set perfect. But other than that, it's just the way it is. Like it works perfect. So yeah, that is my little secret weapon. And what's nice, I can reach down with one hand, put it on, with the one hand again, I can take it off and just toss it down if I don't want to. Or usually when I like store it, I take these hooks, and there's 2 holes in the bottom of this thing. They clip into there, and then I can hang it, put it back here out of the way, and I'm good to go. So I was gifted a pencil hand descender and still bought a new fast descender. Been trying to figure out how to do what you're showing without buying the elder talents. Brother, you can do it. I assure you, you can do it. Let's just say, okay, let's just think about this. This little section here, what you technically could do is cut this off, or here, cut that off, and I would leave some of this and cut that off, so it would lose all of this. And then what you have left is this flat surface that you could actually attach to, if you wanted to make it a permanent thing. It would attach there. You used to do a couple bolts, screws, and it would be it would be up here. And if you look, that doesn't stick out far. That would work pretty nice. I've never thought about doing it as permanent because that's something I don't like it being permanent. But you could definitely take a hand descender and with a couple cuts, have it so it's fixed and always there. So I have here. Yeah, I have another one of these hand descenders. Same hand descender. You can see where the plastic comes down here. It's where it's missing on this one. And they're the exact same. So like, this one may be a little easier for you to see. That is a right foot. So yeah, you would hook it up like this. I would almost say I would probably, yeah, because the way most gaffs are, the pads are, they go forward around the leg. So it would be fixed like this to it, and you can make it so that the actual ascender part is up here. But I think this little flat surface here would work perfect. You cut it off, drill a hole there, and bolt it to the actual spikes. And I think you would definitely be into what you're trying to do, and I think it will work. So I don't have one in my just haven't left my gear bag since I bought them last spring. Dang. Yeah, that's why I was showing you here the that I like to keep that S-beaner on there. Where did that? Oh, because the rope wrench Pro, it's just got this little circular attachment point, so a lot of carabiners don't go into it. These little S-beaners work pretty good and clip into it nice, so I usually just use them. Or I'll use like a speed line strap, or with this same thing, let's say you don't have that, you're tied in and you want to take your hand or your lanyard, throw it over your shoulder and clip in to your device, and then tighten up, get it dialed in to where you want, and then it'll tend your slack as you step up each time. Just throw it over the opposite. If your lanyard's on your right, throw it over your left shoulder. Mine's on my left, so I throw it over my right shoulder. And then you may need like an S-beaner or something to get it to clip in. And the nice part's like it orientates perfect when you do that, instead of it being cockeyed when you use a normal one. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's just what I do. So if you noticed one of the last videos I put out, in that video I lost this, and it was lost for maybe 3 to 4 years before I finally found it again. It was in the very, like a false bottom to an old gear bag that I had. It was stuffed in there, and I thought it was gone, lost forever. So when on that day, on the last video I put out where I did the pruning stuff, I realized I didn't have it, and I was bummed out. And I think I don't remember what I ended up doing. I did something. I think I used a hand ascender with like a little piece of rope or something. I don't remember. I jerry-rigged something together that day so that I could get through that tree. But then when I got home that day, I was like, I gotta make something. I need a knee ascender. I probably spent 30 minutes or so searching through stuff trying to find my actual knee ascender, but never did find it. But when it comes to just a foot ascender, here is my favorite. Climbing Technology. This one's really, really nice. I've had it for quite a long time. So let me find my other. I'm not seeing it. It's in here somewhere. Has to be. I guess it doesn't have to be, but I hope it is. Maybe it was on this first side and I didn't. Yeah, I'm the type of guy, I just reuse everything. So like I have this grappling hook, and I put it on this lanyard. The grappling hook came off of a stationary old school lanyard that is just a rope with 2 clips. So I busted the gate off, and it being on this allows it to whip and like go around some bends and stuff instead of being fixed and stiff there. This is kind of nice. Where did that go? I must have overlooked it. I did. Here it is. Dang. So here's a good slack tender. I can't use it anymore because of my ribs being messed up. But this is the 4 SRT chest ascender. It's really nice. Straight clips in. And again, I would use that S-beaner with it. And you can clip into any of these here. All down through there. And it just gives you a bunch of adjustability. It's just my ribs are broke there and still poking out. And that's right where this metal ring is. So I can't wear it. It's just too uncomfortable. I was actually looking for my foot lube. Here it is. So I use this with the gree, but I also use it with my knee ascender. This is a homemade knee ascender. So I just came home. I took the Panton foot ascender that I had. I cut everything off of it and attached a bungee with a zip tie. Put a clip on the end of it. So the only thing it needs is a foot loop. So it's a little different of a setup than when I use it with the gree. So I think it ends up being way down here somewhere. Can't really remember. It's been a while because I actually found my knee ascender, so I don't need it anymore. But it is a good backup to just have in the bag. So I'll attach that to here. I think it's too long. I actually think when it's in the right position, I'll show you this here. I think it's all the way down now that I'm thinking about it. We'll take it all the way down to where it doubles. That should be it. Okay. So, closer look at what I got here. Like I said, it's the Panton foot ascender with a bungee attached with a zip tie. Somehow that's made it over the top of that. I don't really like that, but I guess it's okay. It's got this clip. So, one thing I had to do, I took like a ratchet strap and cut a little section of it off, sewed it together as a little like bungee thing here, a little webbing for here, and it attaches down at the bottom where the straps for the foot ascender used to be. Then a little thing here. I sewed them together. So, if what I said earlier is right, I should be able to attach this to my foot. Then attach this to here. And then when I lift, I should get all that movement. See, this one's not as dialed in. The bungee's a little off. I would probably want this to be maybe even further down. But I don't know if it can go further because it doubles there. I don't think it can. Maybe it can. Let's see. See if it'll go through there. This is going to be a pain when I go to get it back out. Yeah, it does. Okay. Let's see how that fits. Oh, yeah. So, much better action. But it's not as dialed in. The bungee itself, not quite as good as the actual Haas knee ascender. So, what up, 850? I just been here rambling for a while, waiting for you to get here. Now I can sit down for a little bit, chit chat with you guys, and call it quits. He made it. I've been going an hour. Awesome. What up, brother? I got a big ass steak inside. I'm just finished grilling. Kiddo was down from college. She came out. Hung out with Dad today, which was fun. Finally finished putting together my fence that I made out of, and gate that I made out of pallets. Threw a little bit of gray paint on it. Put some solar lights on it. It's done. So, y'all are my only friends. Aww. Don't lie. He texts me all the time talking about how he hates you guys. No, I'm just kidding. Don't. He tried to tell me that same stuff. That we're his only friends. I don't believe him. I think he's got a lot of friends. Too many, actually. So, again, I love this whole setup. I like my things to be... I don't want to think about any of this. I don't want to think about any of my saddle, any of the positioning of any of the tools. I want them to be in the same spot every single time, and without thinking, my hands move, and it's muscle memory to get everything. Chainsaw, hang chainsaw up, handsaw, any speed line straps, stuff like that. Then I reach back here, I grab the climbing device, the secondary if I need it. Yeah, I have everything in a particular spot. I'm very particular about where everything goes because I want to develop that muscle memory, so I don't got to think about it ever. I just do. So make sure anything that you learned here, don't tell nobody. Keep it a secret. 'Cause I don't want anybody to be getting as good as me. I hate that shit. It actually pisses me off. The more I think about it, and probably not likely anybody's going to get that good, but I just don't want to take the chance. So keep this shit secret. It's between just us. I don't know what I would do if someone else found out. Oh, and again, another thing that I didn't show you is the way I hook up a chainsaw. I hook my chainsaw up with a Delta clip. This thing is really nice for hanging up on my hook here. So if I can't get the actual ring on the back of the saw, this usually catches. So I just need one of them to clip. Plus, that being like that, it like gives me all this open space here, and then the back clip, and it's just makes everything so simple to get and get it to clip on. And like I was saying, I like this being back here so I can store it away until I'm ready. And yeah, then I would put the salt. Save myself a little bit of headache. I hate unscrewing that at the very beginning when I put a saw on. So yeah, that is the setup. That is how it's set up, and that is why it's set up. Tapioca is okay. Actually, it's good, but I want it like once a year, and that's it. And usually it's like fall to winter time, and then I'm down. I'm like, okay, this is good. 100%. I told him don't talk until he shows up. I hope nobody was saying anything. Were they talking when you showed up? They better not have been. I told him to shut up and sit there. Nessie for lanyard slack. Just drink. That's awesome. I like to take some. Oh, fancy pudding, eh? Going fancy pudding on us. I also like how quick and easy the saddle is to take off, because when I'm done, I want it to get off of me fast. I'm not the biggest fan of the saddle at that point. I'm questioning all my life decisions, and I'm like, I'm tired. Get off me. And then I look at what I did, and I'm like, I'm the man. Then I feel better. But store your stuff the way you want to wear it. That's my advice. Like I said, this thing's going on 3 years old, and look, like it's only stored one way. It can be all wadded up, but the way the curve is there and the curve is on each leg strap, I want it to be precise. If you notice, look at the way those leg straps sit. See how cockeyed, how out to the, like, I sit like this or something. It looks like I'm the most bow-legged weird, but it grabs my, no, it grabs to the inner thigh and like supports here to here. And then I have the outside, which pulls together, but yeah, I don't, maybe that helps somebody. Instead of it being straight, it's kind of a little cockeyed. This thing, I think some guys don't realize that. So with your leg straps, you have this adjustment, which is here, the bungee on the back. That's not, in my opinion, that's not the most important one. The most important one is this one that goes to the bear paw, that puts the leg strap at its correct angle. And that one, when you get that one dialed in, that's a level of comfort that you can't understand until you get it perfect. So I've messed with it in different ways, and then was dumbfounded after I felt how comfortable this was, and then looked at it, and I'm like, that looks wild. But it's not about how it looks when it's being stored, more about how it fits me and feels when I'm using it. I mean, it needs to look cool when it's stored, though, too. It still looks cool. Zip some of this stuff up so I don't have stuff everywhere. Oh, and all my stuff just gets attached on the outside of this bag. Greg Brown sent this bag years back. What's it called? The Pantera? It's American made. That's made in the USA. Alright? Merc. Yeah, such a good bag. Clips together here and here. Like, you could store your hard hat in here if you wanted to, but I don't. I have ropes back here, smaller sections, and some weird slings and adjustable base anchors and stuff like that that's back here. But yeah, so the way this all ends up, what did I do with those other? Oh, sorry. So what's nice is I can take all of these and just clip them onto one side here. It unclips here too, so I could take them all off at once. If I wanted to, I could just unclip this and they all come off. There. And I'll store stuff like this. A little more on the back side here, so it's a little out of the way. Same with the first aid cigarette container. Look at this little thing. I think it's meant for pruning sprays, but I use it for a water bottle. It's just a strap. Hold the water bottle on it pretty good, and then you can just clip it on. So I think it's for pruning spray is what it's meant for though. But who the hell uses pruning spray? I don't know. So I use it for a water bottle. Another top secret tool, and if you weren't a member, you don't even know about this. So don't tell nobody if I show you, okay? I'll show you this. Don't tell nobody. I swear, if I see anybody using this, I'm gonna be so pissed at you guys. Something to put in the back behind your seat to keep with you. This little magic tool. You about to make that stump cut? You click her on, you go around, you metal detect, and you don't waste chains. So yeah, I don't know how much this is at Harbor Freight, but it's really cheap. It works really good. I don't know, it's chargeable. Yeah, it's nice to have. It saved me a couple times, and yeah, you can do a quick scan really quick instead of sitting there and checking the whole tree. That takes too long. You can run that over it really fast, get it dialed in, and keep yourself from ruining a bunch of chains. So get you one. Not to mention, if you ever dropped something that's metal, like I've been up in the tree and being like on a wood line and try to put my chain back on and drop the nut from like your chainsaw and the leaves, grab that out, you find it really quick. So it's really compact, comes in a little bag. You could wear it like a necklace. I don't know what that thing there is for, but yeah, and it fits right back here. Really nice to have. Again, another like drink holder. This thing I keep a little pocket wedge with about 10 foot of string on it, and then I store it like this. I unclip and then it drops down. Maybe there's 8 foot, but then I can take this, clip it onto my saddle, use the pocket wedge, and then if it falls, it's just dangling down there. I can reach down, pick it up. That's another little tool to keep on the side of the bag. Again, it's where my handsaw goes. Oh shit, I knew I didn't get it. Damn it. See, I knew I had way too much space left over. I'm like, damn, usually it's a battle to get my bag to close up. Yeah, it's because I didn't have this damn knee extender in there yet. That sucks. Now it's going to be all tight. Just a second. So before 850, I think it was 850, it's the one, Charlie sent me the ratcheting scrunches. It's another tool that goes onto the bag from my guy Greg Brown. Chainsaw tool you clip to your saddle. Nice. Perfect. Greg's been making these. He sent me, it's been years ago. So always got that on the bag. Stuff. This is the stuff I keep on the outside. Quick and easy to get to. Also, if you need a retrieval ball, you don't have to buy this expensive ass retrieval balls that from like the supply stores. you can just get one of those bungees. They make them now for all kinds of stuff. They just come like this, just like a retrieval ball. You attach it, wrap it around, up, like you would a French prusik. Hook it on, and then retrieve. So, yeah, these are nice to have. I don't know why it's sitting out here like it actually gets used, but it's here. I would use it if I ever needed it. Just don't ever need it. Then down here, there's a multi-tool that just fell out for some reason. I don't even know how I even. Oh, okay. So I found this multi-tool in the woods at a job one time, and it's a Leatherman. Kind of crazy. Just sitting in these people's wood line. And I asked them if it was theirs. They said no. I was like, really? That's crazy. So, this little thing, keep it on the outside. I think usually when this thing gets used, it's for like dropping phone lines, undoing the screws that are like holding it onto the siding. There's another little retrieval ring kind of thing that works. I also take this little attachment. It's like a ponytail, like a ponytail holder with a metal ring on it, and I'll take it and I would use it on my Rope Runner Pro too. I could weave that through and have that hanging off, and then my other neck ascender I could clip, like my lanyard that I threw over my shoulder, I could clip into that bigger ring right there, and the little bungee to it kind of assisted a little bit in the spring of getting it back up each time. But yeah, I don't know why I don't use that. Not needed, I guess. A couple weird carabiners. I keep these in case I get in a pinch for like a breakaway lanyard. These are plastic carabiners. I guess they were like 3D printed. Kind of strong enough, but weak enough at the same time I could break it if I wanted to. So these are kind of nice to have. Then my other few things that I have on the outside of the bag, always there's a strapping case, just one of these in case I get to a position that I don't want my rope hanging down onto the ground like they're chipping, or I need it to be weighted. I'll wrap my rope up, and instead of tying any kind of knot, I'll just use this little Velcro strap and wrap my rope together, hook it up, have it there. So and then here's the last couple things. So every time before I start, I am always looking to, no matter what I'm doing as far as climbing, I try to avoid just gaffing my way up. I don't like doing it. I try to avoid it at all costs. Like I said, it's hard on my knees. And as a tree guy, the advice I would give would be to a new guy would be to eliminate any risk that you possibly can at all times. The stuff you do is dangerous enough. The work's dangerous enough. So if you can eliminate a piece of it or a risk along the way, do it. So I say, set your tie-in point from the ground, and then you're tied in the whole time. The chance of slipping and falling to the ground is completely minimized. But so I'm always needing my throw ball first thing. So my throw ball's on the outside here on a carabiner. A few different ones. That one's for the air cannon. That one's just a small one for throwing. There's my normal one. It is I don't know how many ounces this is. What is this one? This, I think it's a 12 ounce. And then a lot of times if I'm base anchoring, I use the quickie for base anchoring. So it stays here on the end, quick to get to, simple to get to, and gets used almost every time. So, and again, this bag I've been using for, shoot, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. I can't believe that it's still working. It's still in as good of shape as it is. And just like a lot of things that I have to thank Greg Brown, because he's the man, and he's been so generous to me while I've been doing tree work on YouTube. So he is the man and always will be, forever and ever. So go to gballers.com and get you something. Just get something. Well, let me see something. I'm gonna let you guys talk. I got my motorcycle out yesterday. Well, not this motorcycle, but my other one. And she was pissing gas everywhere. So I think it's time to get a new carb. Oh, but it started. Is that everything? I think so. finish my pallet fence. I don't know if it shows up here on camera very good. Which is nice that I can close that area off completely so the dog don't get in there. But yeah. I am a cheapskate at heart, and I spent $0 to make that fence. So, kind of stoked on that. Plus, I was just curious, could I do it? So, well, guys, that's it for me. I just figured I'd hang out with y'all for a while. Didn't really have much to say. Figured I'd show the main gear, kind of give a little bit of an update on the Stratus, let you know how it's going. Still, I would say my favorite saddle I've ever worn in my life. I've tried the Monkey Beaver and it's floppy, limp. So I'll catch you guys next time. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I turned it. It's a gated community. Yep. Guys, I guess my dog finally heard me. Kind of glad we didn't go in here. It's boring in here sometimes. I spend so much time in here. So many live feeds there. A couple live feeds there. So anytime I can get outside, I'm all about it. Guys, busted the mess in here. I'll catch you next time. It was fun. Stay safe, and as always, if I can help you with anything, I'm here. See ya, and stay safe. See you Saturday. Oh, hang on. You guys want a video? I feel like you got guys like Tim putting up, you know, just so may have to put a video up. See you next time. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your week. Catch you Saturday.